Anyway, NCAA. Another season with our Cowboys. Our first season, though, with a new addition to the team. Everybody, allow me to introduce to you the newest member of this broadcast team. Say hello to Pepe. My wife today went to a 6-year-old's birthday party. And it was very horse themed. So it's not exactly blown up at this point, but we have a horse head on a stick, and I had to name him after Chavo Guerrero's horse. This thing's scary. So is it? Is he freaky? Look at those eyes. Look at those cold, dead eyes. Look at them. So yeah, this is what happens. The wife knew that we were running a Wyoming Cowboys college football run, so she brought home a horse. So shout out to Pepe, who will celebrate with through a championship run. How do I get a refund for my subscription? You don't. How dare you disrespect a horse? Christ. How dare you? Unbelievable. That is a 6-year-old girl's contribution to this stream. You guys are just mean. You guys are just mean. What's the matter with you? Anyway, we did a thing. We did a thing last night in regards to this team. We let chat rename goddamn everybody, even the dudes who were already here. So let's go through what this team looks like right now. First and foremost, at quarterback, we have B fucking Arthur, J Bone Ya Forbes, Donner Party, and Buford Mad Dog Tannen at quarterback. Tough call on who to redshirt. We are going to sit out B fucking Arthur, excuse me. I think we're going to sit out the other junior, and then we'll redshirt old Mad Dog Tannen next year. So J Bonya Forbes will end up being our starting quarterback this year. At running back, Hot Hamburger, alongside Jesse James, Jolene, Juco Salamanca, Odiferous Tickle, and Pinkley Taurus III. We're going to redshirt the two options that we can actually redshirt for obvious reasons. At fullback, Cowboy Bob Orton, who will end up playing, because of course he will. At wide receiver, Kel Ikapowski, Marshall, He's Kenoff, LaNutmeg Shiverbus, Billy the Adult, Fuck You, and Mean Gene Okerlund. Kel Ikapowski is going to have to play. So we need to sit out two of these sophomores. So Billy the Adult, Fuck You, will both sit out for this season. At tight end, Brisket Buchanan, Dusty Trail, and the Cisco Kid. We will sit out the Cisco Kid for the season. Left tackle is Hangman's Blood, Yosemite Sam, and Mr. Chokovich, which will go ahead and sit out Yosemite Sam for the season. Richard Head, good to see you, by the way. Left guard, we have Bullseye, Cordell Walker, and Josh Allen if he was good. At center, Saddle Sore, Ras Beeves, and Brokeback Mountain. And I accidentally hit the wrong button. But we'll go back to the middle and sit out the two newer options there because we have the extra left guard. At right guard, Ram Ranch. I allowed it, even though, yeah, there's been some interesting developments lately. And Assless Chaps. And at right tackle, Brad to the Bone, Me Like Horsies, and Ted Haas Wilson, who will be sitting out. Defensively, Doc Holliday, Kenneth Pinion, and Okada's coin drop. On the other side, Woodrow, but need a paddle. It's supposed to be Slugberry, but it's Slugburu Toothman. Slugburu works for me too. Dust Bunny and Wild Bill Hickok. Who, yeah, we'll be redshirting the Hickok this season. Defensive tackles, Cal, Gary, Has Been Drinking, Kicking Boots, and Fumbleweed. At linebacker, Died of Dysentery, the Sundance Kid, and Gavin Beerup. We kept Gavin Beerup's name because it's hilarious. Middle linebackers, Douche Pickle, Mr. Red. It's supposed to be Mr. Reed, I suppose, but it's Mr. Red. The Gifter Taker, and Buster Scruggs. On the other side, Dusty Bottoms, who is a phenomenal, phenomenal player. Who I really don't want to lose this season. Probably, we got to sit him out, though. I think we have to. It's too good of a player to lose. Masked Cowboy. We kept Reed's son's name in there as well, and then Jurgen Klopp. At corner, Get Along, Little Doggy. Butch Cassidy. Cowboy Poker. Cornelius T. Tumbleweed. Ride 'em Cowgirl. And Shut Up Endo. We will sit out Ride 'em Cowgirl for the season. At safety, Sneeds Feed and Seed. Tom Chicky Nuggy Jones. Keenan Enkel. And we also have Scrawny Nag and Yeed Last Ha. We can actually afford to sit out Scrawny for the season because we have the two other good safeties. At kicker, Fistful of Dollars. And our punter, Thinking, Hang On. So that is our team heading into this next season, although... Dusty Bottoms wasn't redshirted, right? Back to that linebacker position. Yeah, no, we got to leave Dusty in there. We got to do it. We got to do it. So, let's reorganize the old depth chart. That's looking good. And before we set up the recruitment board, we have the custom schedule. And you know what that means. That means Pick a Random Letter is coming back to haunt me very, very soon. We will schedule a game for week 11. So week 8 is going to be our open week, as well as week 1. So week number 2, we need to pick a random letter, and it ends up on E. Well, we know E works for Eastern Michigan. Is there anybody else? East Carolina or Eastern Michigan? Let's go for Eastern Michigan. We've played East Carolina quite a bit when we were running with Navy, so Eastern Michigan it is. Next up, we land on G. Oh, God. We draw Georgia again. Fuck's sake. And then we have week 11. We drew a D, of which nobody's available. A. We draw Georgia and Alabama this season. 2 teams in the top 6 highest tier division. All right, well, that is pretty much 2 more losses guaranteed on the schedule then, isn't it? That is not ideal. With that, let's get some more bad news, at least I presume, in terms of the scouting needs. Again, I presume this is going to be incredibly bad news for us, but let's see how it goes in terms of team needs. Oh, so far, not that bad. We need a kicker. We need a defensive tackle. And we need a punter. And that is it. That is actually all that we need. That is fantastic, actually. So again, we will have a pretty easy job here in terms of recruiting.
Trying to walk through this fucking grass.
So let's go ahead and get the list of dudes that we are able to actually go for. We'll go heavily into scouting in the early stages again, because it worked out great last year, just in terms of knowing who we could and could not get. So for the punters, Terry Sisk. What a great name. We actually might not have as many kickers and punters as I was hoping. Oh, man. 4 kickers, 3 punters. And we need to get 2 of them, or we have to deal with a walk-on. That would suck. Daniel Howard is fantastic. So is Jeff Young. He's a gem. Robinson improves. James Hart. Terry Sisk. Landrum's a bit disappointing. Mario Jones a little bit better. So we'll have to leave all those guys on the list to start. Next thing to focus on is defensive tackle. Joe Thornton! Old Joe Thornton. How I wish we could recruit one Joe Thornton. Jumbo himself. Do we have any defensive tackles here? It's a long player list. So far, not so good. Nobody let him get 4 sacks. You know what that means. You know what that will mean. Can we find anybody, please? There we go, finally. Kevin Marshall, and he doesn't want to sign here. This is bad news. This is real bad news. This is the first time that we have not had much luck. We have Zach Murray, Aaron Powell, Winston didn't want to play here. Cedric Gordon, AJ McNeil, Karan Morris. Okay, there we go. I mean, we're getting some players here. They are a bit further down the list, but at least we have options. We'll have to see how good these guys are. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of them. They're just all at the bottom of the list. Mark Fagan, Anthony Mitchell, Dominique Martin, Ben Lester, Sean Jack. 2 first names. What a guy. What a guy, what a guy. All right, so defensive tackle, our only other position in need aside from special teams. Anybody with a super low overall. Probably don't need the scout, but we'll see. Let's see, Zach Murray, Aaron Powell, Cedric Gordon. McNeil's only a 62. Morris is only a 60. I think sub 65 we can rule out. We got Adam Pac-Man Jones. He's only a 63. And White's looking okay. Sean Brady will take out of there. Joe Anderson. Montgomery can stay. Newsom can stay. Gibbs can stay. JJ Cunningham is out. 5 stars, in theory, yes, do grow better. But again, we're not allowed to target a 5-star unless they're from a junior college, which, LOL, that's not really going to happen. So, but we did get good news. Recruitment-wise, I think we'll be pretty well set up here for what we have to do. So I am excited about that. And again, this is the season that we are definitely looking to say we need to get promoted this season. We need to. Hugo's going to be 3-star and under. I'm pretty sure that's the case, although I could have sworn we saw a 4-star at one point. But, all right, we have 6,000 points a week following Woodrow. Damn right we are. Woodrow Wilson is back from the dead. Brian, that's what people have said about it for like the past 7 years, if not longer. So, yeah. Well, I guess there was one good one in there in between. Well, let's see. Defensive tackles. Let's finish scouting these guys out and see where we stand. I am going to look at these guys just because it's a position of need. Some of them might be able to grow enough. We know a plus 13 is possible. Ben Lester not looking too good. John Jack. I shouldn't have looked at that. That was a waste, though. All right, so are any of these guys immediately disinterested? No. Okay. We're looking good there. Let's offer each and every one of them a scholarship. And let's go look at the old kicker and punters that we already have on the list. No one's immediately disinterested, so that's good too. All right. So far, so good. But now comes the pretty tedious part. And that is looking at, like, all of the players, unfortunately. That's going to take a little bit of time. So I don't know what to do for the YouTube portion of this. Enjoy your 15-minute episode, I guess, because I'll spare you the boredom. I think we can march on with full focus here towards these Cowboys. Again, in terms of scouting, we've found some pretty good options. 2 really strong quarterbacks and another one who's pretty solid. We have a 70 rated running back that we got to talk to, a 78 rated fullback, 4 wideouts, including a 79 rated Brandon Bennett, 4 pretty solid tight ends. We haven't been able to look at the O-line or the D-line yet. We have the defensive tackles in a position of need, no linebackers, no secondary, but then the special teams and the athletes as well. So our scouting board is actually looking quite strong here. And if we see how many points we have left and we divide that by 32, it's about 50 points a person. So we have scholarships out for all of these guys. No, we don't. I lied. So now it really will be about 50 points a person, if not less. We might just go even 30 points a person at this stage. But these will be the initial players that we go after here. Again, we only need 3 players, a kicker, a punter, and a defensive tackle. So it's another year that we get to play with house money. Sweet, beautiful house money. Taps, I'm sure. How are you going about promotion relegation? The 2 teams that meet in the conference championship get promoted. With the winner of the conference championship replacing the loser of the conference championship from the next tier up. So don't worry, we're actually going to talk about the conferences really quickly and give you guys a look at what everything is looking like at the start of this season. So, okay, 30 points was not enough. So we'll go 50 for the dudes up top. And actually, I might have even more than this, but yeah, I'll be showing off the conferences in a second. Hockey Kid, what's going on? How are you? Got the J.R. Francis. Sounds like a character from Dallas. I know that was J.R. Ewing, but you get the points. There we go. All right, so we're looking pretty good recruitment-wise, at least from a starting basis, which I like. Around the nation, which, by the way, again, for the skill tree, reminder, we're focused purely on scouting, but Phil Parker is our defensive coordinator. He is fantastic, and our offensive coordinator, Warren Ruggiero, is also pretty damn good. But let's get a look here at the preseason poll that has the Georgia Bulldogs as the #1 team in the nation. Of course, they are in the Elite Six, as are USC. Utah is in the 2nd tier, the ACC. Ohio State's in that Elite Six, as is Clemson, Florida State, Oregon in the ACC, North Carolina, Michigan, and Kansas. The lowest in the lowest conference, tier 3, out of anybody in the top 10. Of course, Kansas made it all the way to the national title game last year before losing to USC. But for the conference outlook, again, we are in the Sun Belt Conference, the lowest tier, in the newly renamed Misery Division, alongside Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, Arkansas State, Akron, and Nevada. On the other side is the Woe Division, with Air Force, Buffalo, the ULM Warhawks, Navy, Charlotte, and Georgia Southern. We jump ahead to the SEC in the No Arms Division. Again, Shaq got to rename the divisions last night. with Miami, Mid-Tennessee State, James Madison, Marshall, Coastal Carolina, and Old Dominion. And of course, on the other side, the no-legs division of the SEC with Syracuse, who are currently number 25, apparently, Louisiana, Texas State, Eastern Michigan, Army, and Georgia State. You have the Pac-12, the bottoms division, with Florida Atlantic, Indiana, Western Kentucky, Central Michigan, Northwestern, and Western Michigan. And the tops division, with 91 rated Rice, Jesus Christ, Appalachian State, Utah State, Colorado State, Troy, and New Mexico. The Mountain West Conference with the piss poor division of North Texas, Southern Miss, Illinois, Louisiana Tech, USF, and Kent State. And on the other side, the poor piss division of Temple, Minnesota, Ohio, South Alabama, Ball State, and San Antonio. You get the MAC division, or the MAC conference with the paper division, South Carolina, Toledo, the San Diego State Aztecs, Hawaii, Nebraska, and Tulsa. And the plastic division has Wake Forest, UAB, Rutgers, Vanderbilt, El Paso, and Virginia, who find themselves down another conference. Conference USA, the Tobago division, is Las Vegas, Maryland, Georgia Tech, Memphis, Boston College, and East Carolina. The Trinidad division is Iowa State, San Jose State, BYU, Stanford, Purdue, and Fresno. Can you force teams to play 11 conference games a season? I don't believe so. There's always going to be a couple of non-conference games. The Big Ten, we have the Hub division with Boise State, SMU, Houston, Kentucky, Arizona, and NC State. And in the Xvideos division, Virginia Tech, West Virginia, Baylor, Duke, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma State. The Big 12, we have the Vagoos division with Michigan State, Arizona State, Mississippi State, Louisville, Arkansas, and Iowa. And the Willies division has Tulane, TCU, Oregon State, Texas Tech, UCF, and Washington State. That brings us to the American with the Ketchup division. Ole Miss, Florida, Missouri, Colorado, California, and Wisconsin. And the Mustard division has Kansas, Miami, Tennessee, Kansas State, Notre Dame, and Pittsburgh. The penultimate tier, the ACC, you got the Followers division with Florida State, North Carolina, LSU, Penn State, Auburn, and Washington. And the Leaders division of Utah, Oregon, Michigan, Texas A&M, UCLA, and Oklahoma. Your Elite Six, the independent clubs, the best of the best: Georgia, USC, Ohio State, Clemson, Texas, and Bama. That is the full outlook of what our unique world is. We have no game in week number 1. But week 2, it's Eastern Michigan to kick off our new season. The fuck are these names? This is what happens when you let chat rename things at 3 in the morning. This is what happens. For better, for worse. That is what happens. So there's that. As we found some gems, we found some boosts. What's it take to fall out of the Elite Six? The bottom 2 in that division get replaced by the top 2 from the ACC every year. We'll get to our Eastern Michigan opener in a moment. But first, the recruitment board. Are we immediately out for anybody? So far, the answer is no. So far, so good. Okay. Defensive tackle was a position of need. So far, we're looking okay there, too. And for the kickers, also not immediately out on anybody. What about the athletes? 700 back on Ryan Boyd. But to be honest, we are going to fight for everyone that's here. Obviously, there are some other positions O-line, D-line, linebackers that I'd like to find people for, but beggars can't be choosers. So we will take those 6,000 points and divvy up 185 per person, with the highest rated dudes getting more points assigned. So we're going to put in a fight for pretty much everybody on the list here so far, and then we'll have to fight late for some of the other people. Is it the best strategy in the world? Maybe not, because there might be other dudes out there at like the linebacker spots that could have a really good starting overall compared to some of these guys, but it is what it is. Again, it's just, honestly, it's laziness on my part, because I can only have 35 people pinned at once. I'd have to write down who has what, and Bevo, what's going on? We are pretty much just getting started. We've done a lot of our scouting so far, so you haven't missed anything too crazy. Since we aren't touching NHL 24 and haven't had the Goonfish yet. Well, JD, I mean, NHL 24 right now, it's just more waiting for my custom rosters to be done, which, again, isn't going to happen anytime soon, so. But I'm not entirely done with 24. We'll play it probably quite a bit later in the year. Once everyone else is burned out on it, I'll be ready to come back to it, basically. So, works out relatively well. Really, I mean, I'll be able to capitalize on playoff hype by being on NHL in April instead of being sick of it. All right, well, let's put the points on Howard, because he's an absolute beast. So, Phil the Friendo's talking, the raging, and Ishil again. I mean, hey, I said a month break, so we'll see what happens. Our first game of the season, Eastern Michigan. We're now a B- rated team, which is pretty nice. Okay. No, actually, the one thing we didn't check was conference outlook, or our championship contenders. How are we projected to be? Still not great. Still not great. We are a 3-star program now, though. It's gonna take a bit. Worry, I have no idea if it's even gonna happen, so no clue. Eastern Michigan, the Eagles. I haven't looked at their unis before. The Silver Bucket, okay. Some interesting ones. And literally, we only have one away jersey. Well, not a very complicated look for us here in Wyoming, huh? Not at all. Pretty straightforward. But given that we actually have players on this team that we care about now, this might be the first season where we indeed follow along.
Bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show.
What is our first game of the season? Of the season of the season.
With a huge victory at home today. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for
all right, let's do it. Again, our goal here is simple. We need to get promotion. We need to. That is the only goal. Get promoted. The Silver Field, by the way. I forgot about this being a thing. All right. Fair enough. We'll call heads. Heads never fails. Case in point. And we will sim to the first quarter, and hopefully, again, we can kick off this season with a beautiful bit of no touching. That would be tremendous. Not holding my breath for that, but hey, you never know. We are up 9-0 at the end of the first. Can we make it 16-0? And we do. And not bad. A first half shutout. You never know. What happened here? They've only won one game since they changed to silver. You just got to give people time to adjust their eyes. We're up 19-0 heading into the fourth. We would really have to blow this game to not walk away with the win. What a start to the season. Our first no touching.
No touching. No touching. No touching.
26-7. They get it done in pretty damn convincing fashion. And again, I'm not complaining. J-Bone, ya Forbes. No touchdowns on 316 yards passing. What the hell? We did have 2 rushing touchdowns for Forbes, though, as Hot Hamburger had 77 yards on 26 carries. Criminy, 100 yards for Hees Knopf. Wow. 3 drops, by the way, for Kel Ikapowski. That's not great. The good thing is our kicker went 4 of 5. Old Fistful of Dollars, the senior. 2 for 2 on the extra points, so there you go. All right, quick and easy. Again, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining about not having to hop in to try to save the day here. The fact that we can just get it done, and we should be fine. We should be. Good stuff. Mobski, what's going on, my man? How are you? All right, on to week 2. Charlotte. That should be another winnable game. It should be. Trying my best to jinx it right now if I can. But, all right. Charlotte. The 49ers. The one true 49ers of football. All right. Win a game, had 3 sacks. All right. How do we look recruiting-wise? How do we look? Quarterback, 800 points back for Anthony Harris. That's not good. I don't think we're going to win that fight against Texas Tech. We're going to take Anthony Harris out of the mix. Running back, still good. Still good for everybody there. Far so good. Defensive tackle, again, was a position of need this season. We're looking okay for everybody. Special teams. Okay. We are out for the athlete, Ryan Boyd. Only 2 people off of our list so far. Pretty good. That means how many spots are open? 30? 30 is still pretty rough to scout people in full like that, so, you know. We'll stick with who we have. We have some extra space here. We'll go 200 points for the top option. Actually, let's go 200 points across the board. And then the best of the best will get more points. Hey, Ethan, what's going on? It was a good day. No complaints. No complaints. Looking forward to this a lot, actually. I have been enjoying this run. There we go, 6,000 points even. Math. Sweet, beautiful math. It worked out well for us there. So that sets us up against Charlotte. We're actually a pretty good team. At least relative to us. No guarantees this game goes our way, unfortunately. Battle of 2 teams in the very bottom division. Just have them in their normal setup. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Still paying attention to the Twitter side of things. Something tell me the Lions win tomorrow. I hope by the time this hits YouTube in October that the Detroit Lions would have won a Super Bowl. That's the hope. That's the hope. How could it not be? Yeehaw, partner. Yeehaw. First home game of the season at War Memorial Stadium. Let's rock. Let's rock. We are going to bring a national title to these 12 people in the stands. We will defer. Go full Bill Belichick style. All right, boys. I'd love another no-touching victory. Can't guarantee we're going to get it. Especially when we are trailing 10-7 at the end of the first. Up 14-10, now down 17-14. It's definitely going to be a more competitive game here. Down 20-14 at halftime. Not great. We do get the ball first. We get a field goal out of it. Fail to score there. Oh, no. If they score on this drive, we're in big trouble. 5:20 to go. And they have a 10-point lead. Well, I don't like it. We are... yeah, we're going to have to jump in to try to save the day here. And I don't know if I'll have the talent to do it, especially with this roster looking like it looks. And especially considering we're starting on our own 20-yard line. But let's see if we can do it.
If you're in the negative in the turnover department, your chances of winning
might have been able to make it a little bit further with Forbes. But considering he can barely stay on his own 2 feet, that was actually a pretty good run. All right, ooh, A could be open. We'll opt out to play. Oh, God, the worst play action option available. We need Kenoff. He's not going to be there. Right bumper is, though. Wham! Shiver bus. Oh, my God, he's dead. You killed La Nutmeg.
which is a truly underrated quality these days.
Oh, poor La Nutmeg. Breaks the first tackle. Oh, my God. Man got killed.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 40.
Dude, they have freaking one fewer first down than we do in this game, and they're still winning. Forbes again. Attaboy. Ooh, we got the first down. I don't know how. Oh, there's a late flag.
Clipping. Offense.
Son of a bitch. Cal Ikapowski.
Your offensive progress.
That's a rough penalty.
But a long ways to go after that penalty.
1st and 16. They got pretty much everyone covered in man. Running back. Oh, hot hamburger. Hot hamburger. Block him. Stiff arm. Stiff arm. Hot hamburger to the end zone. What a run. Oh, baby, what a run.
He had his sights set on the end zone, and he was not.
Hot hamburger. Highlight reel play to kick off a new era at Wyoming. He stiff-armed the shit out of that man. What penalty indeed. And we are within 3. As Oregon's gonna beat Michigan State in a battle of ranked teams. He fought a man for 10 yards. Hot hamburger. We love ourselves a strong running game. We saw it on display there. Good kick from Fistful of Dollars. All right. All right. All right. We can still win this. We can still win this.
This is almost like a basketball game.
All right.
A score here might have.
Problem is, we haven't played with this defense yet. We do know that the 3-4 is probably a pretty good idea, though. Okay, Kimodau to paddle, move in. Douche pickle on the tackle. They do get a first down, though. Shout out to Sharky Boy for the follow. Sharky, welcome in. How are you? How are you? How are you? All right. Again, we'll try to see if man coverage should be our go-to or not. They run a draw. Pickles there again. Stop this time, though. I like that their running back's name is Shadrick. Wonder if I could be on the team or not. We do let people rename players, but it's always at the start of the season. So we have a raffle system as well to try and give as many people a chance as possible. Okay, man coverage is not working. Man coverage is not working. So we're going to switch to a zone blitz. We're going to switch the zone blitz here. See if this works. Oh, please don't be off. Yeah, they're in time wasting mode now. I don't blame them. Snap it at 2. There it is. Gary, put your arms up. Spamming the Y button, but he didn't do it.
And that's because the defense was just waiting on it, and they attacked. The quarterback should have found somebody else downfield.
Let's stay in that zone blitz here.
Second down. Just under 3 to go in regulation.
I don't like the looks of that. Let's get Nuggie Jones in man coverage there. Let's double team that dude. I saw, yeah, I'm paying attention on Twitter to the press conference. They didn't on the first question, but we got there eventually. That's rough. All right. Well, we still can't use the timeout yet in case they get the first down. Okay. Well, this is a huge moment in this game here.
They're crowding that line of scrimmage.
I'm going to risk it by trying to set the outside in case it's an option run. We'll have somebody there. We got to stop here. We have a chance.
Fires it out. Now he's got
Oh, boy.
at the 20. He goes out of bounds at the 16.
He sort of rainbowed that one into the air, which can be risky. You're giving the defender.
They threw it on 3rd and 2.
To get there. But that time, it worked out nicely.
Okay. Well, if they get a first down, it's over. We're going to have to start using our timeouts.
Tackle at the 8. Nice.
And that is a horrible way to start.
Maybe 8 yards. The Cowboys taking
The defense is just not getting the stops that we needed, unfortunately. Going to go heavy on the goal line here.
Everybody bunched up tight defensively. They'll bring him down.
No first down at least. That's our second timeout.
Timeout of the half. It's 3rd down.
Gotta get this play call right.
Just over a minute left.
Shit.
Dangerous throw.
Oh, let's go! Cassidy, the pick! What?
Recovered by the offense.
Good thing they got the ball back. That fumble could have really cost him.
There was some fierce scrapping for that one.
I didn't hit left bumper. Did I hit left bumper? I was strafing. With this linebacker, I was strafing to cover this guy. I must have grazed the button, man. I must have. Because he just immediately lets it go. And they kick it away. If we have to look back on that as a reason as to why we don't get promoted, I'm going to cry. We went from having all of the hope in the world.
He splits the uprights with the
One timeout after a pick to be able to even tie the game.
14. Their charge, take care of business.
I can't believe that just happened.
Was so tight, every
Like it wasn't
play of the utmost
an
importance.
intentional. We got to go for the return. It wasn't an intentional button press by any means. Terrible blocking on the edge there.
Pretty good looking touchdown drive the last time these guys were out there. Just over a minute in the fourth quarter. The cavalry's coming.
Right bumper's there, but
gets it. He's in space.
hell of a play to Marshall. We had to get out of bounds.
Big gain there.
It's not a fumble button, it's a lateral button. But for me, apparently, intentionally or unintentionally, it can often be a fumble button.
He's going to try and scramble. He's in trouble. He's at the 20. Decides to slide. And that was a nice pickup by the quarterback.
Brad, I think this guy
We'll stop the clock until we get to the line of scrimmage. Or until we get ready to pick a play.
Now he tries to buy some time. Got his
What a fucking play. Couldn't hold it, but it should have been picked anyway. It was supposed to go to right bumper.
Gave the ball away.
It's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 12. Under heavy pressure. Slings it out and it gets tipped.
Just park your feet in the end zone, dog, and you would have had a touchdown. But instead you run back. I hate that animation with a passion. With a passion. We did so well to march down the field. Now we're just running out of steam.
He scrambles. Got a man. Watch out here. He steps out at about the...
Again, the way the AI just won't stand still. It's brutal. Well, if we don't score here, it's over anyway.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
Now, hot hamburger into the end zone again. We need an onside kick to have a chance.
He makes the PAT. It was a 6-play.
We could have tied this game. We were down by 10 at the start of the quarter anyway.
The score now, 34-31. Wyoming needs a miracle and then some as they set up for this onside kick.
It took a rough bounce, and that'll do it unless there's a fumble.
They'll bring him down.
Nobody can rip it out, and that's ball game right there. Oh, that fumble. That lateral fumble.
Here we are late.
On an unintentional lateral.
This is what this game has come down
Yeah, they're going to be smart. They're just going to take a knee.
and this could be the one right here.
It should have been a win. It could have been a win.
Kill the clock.
But I made a big mistake on accident, but it counts. That's it. So, we lose to Charlotte in heartbreaking fashion.
A hard-fought, close game.
And it makes me think we could have won that game off of the interception because we destroyed their defense on that follow-up drive, although you could argue they were in like a bend don't break setup. I don't know. Oh, man. Our first heartbreak with Wyoming. I don't even want to look at the stats. This is when you remap lateral to select. No shit, huh? Oh, shit. I must have grazed it while trying to strafe. That's the only thing I could think of, man. That's a tough one.